Hello and welcome to Newsroom series with our focus on the North Central region. But we begin today's edition in Kwara State, where the government, through the Ease of Doing Business Council, is sensitizing members of the judiciary and business community on the procedures and benefits of the newly established small claims courts in the state. The program was organized in collaboration with the Kwara State High Court of Justice to empower key stakeholders such as legal professionals, entrepreneurs, government agencies, and the general public with basic knowledge on the operations, benefits, and pivotal role of small claims court.
In a bid to put an end to disputes between small-scale business holders within the state and its environs, the Kwara State Ease of Doing Business Council has organized a sensitization program for critical stakeholders in the judiciary and business community on the procedures and benefits of the newly established Small Claims Court in the state.
National for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Community Development.
The program, put together in collaboration with the Kwara State High Court of Justice, seeks to address various issues, including prosecution of cases under the Small Claims Court, which the keynote speaker promises will be relatively short, a situation that greatly benefits claimants and lawyers who handle such cases.
When you look into the cases that are even coming before the High Court, which are assigned on a daily basis, we even see claims of 2 million naira, claim of 1 million naira coming to the High Court under the undefended list. Ordinarily, the undefended list is meant to be disposed of within a very short possible time. But the fact is that there's no time frame stated in our rules of court that this is the time within which that will be disposed of.
The court is designed to provide a simplified, swift, and cost-effective mechanism for resolving commercial disputes involving small monetary claims.
Because over time, when we do assessment for people, there's always contention on what is the fruit and what is the seed. Now, if there are contentions where the small claims court can be in a position to help us in identifying what the fruit is and what the seed is, we at KWRS, we are very much interested in the successful implementation.
It also aims to empower legal professionals, entrepreneurs, government agencies, and the general public with basic knowledge on the operations, benefits, and pivotal role of the Small Claims Court.
This initiative is particularly beneficial to small and medium-sized enterprises, which are the backbone of our economy. By reducing the time and the financial barriers to justice, we enable businesses to focus on growth and innovation, thereby contributing to the state's economic development.
Our gathering here is to ensure that everyone is on the same page as far as Small Claims Court is concerned. And on behalf of His Excellency, the Governor of Kwara State, we thank my Lord, the CJ, judges, magistrates, and all the stakeholders in the justice sector for your support so far. We look forward to this sustained partnership with the Kwara State Ease of Doing Business Council. On our part, as members of the government media team, we assure you of continuous dissemination of accurate information to the public on this innovative development that is meant to ease business transactions in our state.
This sensitization program aligns seamlessly with the objectives of the State Action on Business Enabling Reforms, a federal government initiative implemented in collaboration with the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council and the World Bank.
The Nasarawa State Governor, Abdullahi Sule, has restated the commitments of his administration to ensure prudence and accountability in the administration of governance in the state. He spoke during a gathering to honor his appointment of a new Secretary of Government of the state, Mr. Labaran Magaji. The governor and the stakeholders believe that the appointment ushers in a new dawn of administration of governance that is focused on the effective implementation of people-oriented policies and programs in line with the policy thrust of the Sule-led administration. Our correspondent Halima Gayam reports.
Not only from him, but also from His Excellency Engineer.
Nasarawa State stakeholders comprising state and federal lawmakers, chairmen of local government areas, government officials, heads of boards and parastatals, the traditional institution, former Governor Tanko Almakura and Governor Abdullahi Sule converge on the State Banquet Hall in Lafia to celebrate a new dawn in the administration of governance in the state, following the appointment of Labaran Magaji to lead the coordination and monitoring of the implementation of state policies and programs. Mr. Labaran Magaji, who is the 14th secretary to the state government since its creation, says the gathering depicts an inclusive Nasarawa state poised for growth and development above sentiment, as exemplified by Governor Abdullahi Sule.
Labaran is indeed a leader for a new era. As a secretary to the government of Nasarawa State, Barrister Magaji brings to this pivotal role a wealth of experience, sharp intellect, and indeed unwavering commitment to good governance. He's pledged to hit the ground running and ensure accountability across ministries, departments, and agencies of government resonates with the aspirations of the people of Nasarawa State.
As chairman of the gathering, former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, expresses confidence with the new regime following in the steps of the governor to ensure sustenance of good governance.
We cherish the way and manner you bring together your predecessors and you relate with them peacefully and amicably. Your Excellency, we have copied from you. Standing before you today to give my vote of thanks, I'm being supported by the past secretaries to the state government of Nasarawa State.
Mr. Malami's position is corroborated by the Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development.
Nasarawa State holds an immense potential with its strategic location, the rich natural endowments, and youthful population. It is well positioned to become a model of inclusive growth and innovation. What we need and what Dr. Magaji represents is a kind of leadership that is pragmatic, accountable, focused on results. I am confident that under the guidance of His Excellency, our beloved Governor, and with the coordination of Dr. Magaji in his new role, Nasarawa State will move closer to fulfilling our promise.
For Governor Abdullahi Sule, he anticipates a more economically buoyant and prosperous Nasarawa State, promising that his administration will remain prudent and accountable.
We are not doing them to show off. We are not doing them to make another person look bad. No, we are doing them for the good people of Nasarawa State. And today, I can boast that Nasarawa State, for the next 3 months, and Nasarawa State does not receive federation account. I can confidently tell you that we can pay our salaries and other expenses.
As Governor Abdullahi Sule leads the move for an improved system of governance anchored on prudence, accountability, and transparency, he reaffirms his belief in the capacity of the new secretary to serve as a frontline advisor to drive its policy formulation, harmonization, and implementation. Halima Agayem, Channels Television News.
The federal government has reiterated its commitment to curbing the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in the country as the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, commissioned the North Central Zonal Permanent Office of the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons in Mina, Niger State. Speaking at the event on behalf of the NSA, the Director General of the Center, Johnson Babatunde, emphasized the strategic importance of the new office to intelligence gathering, coordination, and stakeholder engagement across the region. He noted that the unchecked flow of illicit arms remains a significant driver of insecurity, including kidnapping, terrorism, and pipeline vandalism. Meanwhile, the Niger State Governor, Umaru Bago, also encouraged mopping up of arms and small weapons to stop terrorism in the north.
Comprising Benue, Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau, and Federal Capital Territory, has faced its share of security challenges linked to the illicit circulation of arms. Therefore, the siting of this zonal office in Benue is strategic, as it will enhance our operational efficiency in intelligence gathering, stakeholder engagement, and the implementation of policies to mob up illegal arms in the region.
I want to thank the President of this country, my father, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has been very, very supportive in the combat against insecurity. I want to reassure you that Niger State will always be seen leading in making sure that Nigerians achieve the necessary security that is required. I want to also call on the Office of the ONSA, this center, and NSA in particular, to also join us in our agri-revolution. Because some of these ungoverned spaces have been providing accommodation for these rascals. As such, we are very ambitious to fund all the ungoverned spaces. We have made investment in mechanization. And here to date, we have about 1 million hectares we have cleared. And we can do better. Niger State sits on almost 10 million hectares of land. So I want to, the NSA, the ONSA, the Center, and other security forces here to collaborate with Niger State government in providing security in terms of food for Nigerians and also clearing spaces where these bad guys are harbored.
The Presidential Livestock Reform Implementation Committee, PLRIC, has announced its readiness to partner and support various states with the government initiative for the advancement of livestock development in the country. The co-chairman of the committee, Professor Tahiru Jega, stated this in Lokoja, the capital of Kogi, at a livestock stakeholders engagement workshop. The co-chairman, who was represented by the secretary of the committee, Professor Yahaya Kuta, says the federal government is determined to grow the nation's livestock sector in order to promote agriculture exports.
Seated here in the new banquet hall of the Government House in Lokoja for a workshop are experts from the agriculture sector, royal fathers, top government officials, alongside members of the Presidential Implementation Committee. The committee is in Kogi State to assess the readiness of the government to host international investors who are eyeing interests in Nigeria's agriculture sector. Organized by the committee, the event, which has as its theme modernizing livestock production in Kogi State, is part of efforts to reposition the livestock sector in line with national reform initiatives and global best practices. The meeting then kicks off officially with strategic submissions by state government officials needed to position Kogi State as a key player in livestock transformation.
Following the Nigerian recent agricultural mission to Denmark, the Kogi State government has secured a preliminary agreement with Notra, a leading agricultural technology company, to establish a tractor assembly plant here in Kogi State. This will anchor the mechanization of feedstock cultivation in the state and beyond.
His Excellency may wish to note that the committee recommends to state governments to, in partnership with the federal government, pay attention to the following. 1, productivity enhancement through breed improvement, both for meat and dairy value chains. Investment in training livestock extension workers and sensitization of pastoralists and small-scale operators on good practices.
The co-chair of the committee, Professor Tahiru Jega, who is represented by the secretary, progresses with a pledge to partner with the Kogi State government to ensure the success of livestock farming in the state.
This bold initiative marks a significant milestone in advancing sustainable food and nutrition security, as well as rural development. By prioritizing livestock development through a dedicated ministry, Your Excellency has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to economic diversification, job creation, empowerment of livestock farmers across the state. We therefore want to encourage Your Excellency to continue with the good work in developing the livestock sector in Nigeria.
The presidential livestock team then presents some reports to the state government. For his part, the State Commissioner for Livestock Development, Dr. Olufemi Bolari, emphasized that the stakeholder engagement aims to provide innovative solutions for livestock development. He concludes his remarks by urging the committee to consider the state government's request for federal support.
We recognize the significant contribution of the livestock sector to our state economy, food security, and livelihood. Our discussion today will focus on deliberating on innovative solutions that will shape the future of livestock development, leading to peaceful coexistence between farmers and herders in Kogi State.
The stakeholder engagement, which is a tripartite meeting, is aimed at highlighting the state's dedication to advancing livestock production in order to attract foreign direct investment that will boost the state's economy.
Residents of communities in Barakin Ladi local government area of Plateau State have been assured of adequate security during this year's farming season and are urged to remain vigilant and guide against acts that might disrupt peaceful coexistence among citizens in these communities. General Officer commanding 3 Division of Nigerian Army, who is also the commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Folusho Oyinlola, in his remarks at a critical meeting with stakeholders, restated the importance of proactive approach in community engagement when potential threats are identified and resolved collaboratively before it escalates to conflict.
Traditional and community leaders, as well as youth and women organizations from Gashishi, Foron, Fan, Haipang, and Rop districts of Barakin Ladi local government area are engaged in a critical meeting with security agencies as part of a non-kinetic engagement in preparation for the farming season. Addressing the gathering, convener of the meeting and commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Folusho Oyinlola, emphasizes the importance of collaborative efforts and proactive approach in resolving issues.
We must act together to ensure Barakin Ladi does not slide into avoidable conflicts. The farming season is already ongoing, and for many families, this is a period for securing their livelihood.
Commissioner of Police, Plateau State Command, Emmanuel Adeshino, enjoins community leaders to disseminate the message of peaceful coexistence to citizens to ensure peaceful atmosphere during the farming season.
The security agencies will continue to support all the operations, especially the Operation Safe Haven that is ongoing in all locations in the state. Just like what we did during December, we are going to increase our deployments in many of these locations to give assurance of safety to all our farmers and everybody, and all the elders, everybody.
One of the district heads urges security operatives to help facilitate the return of residents to their homes.
As I stand today, Fulani are building houses in this community without asking anyone. And once, if you begin to talk, they attack you the next day. The owners of the land cannot even talk. The perpetrators of this evil act, even when they are arrested, after 1 week, we will see them roaming about in the community and even bragging, what will they do to us? It looks like the perpetrators of this evil, they have a godfather above.
In a separate development, Governor Caleb Muftuang receives a report from the committee established to look into resettlement of internally displaced persons with recommendations of more security presence in the affected communities.
Nobody wants his life fractured and dislocated. The reason why we still go back to our villages because there is an emotional attachment, which is part of the quality of our lives. And when you dislocate people like that, it creates a dysfunction in their system. And we don't want that. You know, these things are linked to mental health. And mental health is linked to productivity. And productivity is linked to the economic growth. So it's multifaceted. And we need to address it. And I'm going to be sending this report to Mr. President, I can assure you. And I'm going to be asking the federal government to assist these people, they are Nigerians, to make sure that they recover their lives.
He gives further assurances of adequate security in the various communities by the Joint Security Task Force.
With the 2025 cropping season open, the Benue State government has partnered with agrochemical industries and vendors to begin the distribution of over 9,000 cartons of 4-Sup and other land preparation herbicides to the 23 local government areas. At the flag off of the distribution in Makurdi, the Commissioner for Agriculture, Professor Moses Ogbaji, says each carton, 12 bottles of 4-Sup, are therein, which can be used to prepare 6 hectares of land, giving farmers a better chance of cultivating large swathes of land.
Divisional Agric officers from the 23 local government areas of Benue State converge on Makurdi, the state capital, to pick up farm inputs for the 2025 land preparation exercise.
39 bags.
Each local government will receive 400 cartons. Each carton contains 12 bottles, which can prep 6 hectares of land. This truckload is heading to Otukpo, Obi and Oju local government areas.
Today we are distributing 4-Sup, glyphosate, for clearing of grasses. And the difference this year is that we have centralized the distribution in such a way that all local governments come to the ministry to take away. This we are able to give them close marking, and it's done in the company of farmers from the local government areas. We have given each local government 400 cartons. Now, 4-Sup, two containers, 2 tubes should be able to clear a hectare if properly used.
The administration officer from the agro inputs vendors explains that the government is subsidizing the products by 50% to enable farmers tend to more land space for increased production.
The society will benefit from it if their farming products are fruitful, if they do fruitful harvesting, then the prices of or cost of crops and food items will drop. As we supply, government subsidize 50% of the product as we buy from the cost, and then the farmers pay 50%.
Each farmer is supposed to collect chemical, and like if they are buying in cartons, we are selling 2,500 naira per bottle. So per carton that will be 30,000, I think. Yeah. So we are grateful to the governor as he has provided enough chemical for us to distribute to our farmers.
While security agencies work the clock to address insecurity, Governor Hyacinth Alia is determined to make sure Benue farmers cultivate all available safe spaces to address rising food inflation with these kinds of incentives to local farmers.
Finally, the Benue State government has also launched the Green Wheels Taxi, using electric vehicles with the aim of crashing transportation costs and creating 1,500 jobs while transforming the state's transport sector with eco-friendly technology. Governor Hyacinth Alia, who was represented by the managing director of the Benue Investment and Property Company, says the fleets will be increased weekly until Benue has 500 units of the electric cars for commuters to hail a ride for as low as 200 naira. The service providers say Benue is the first state to adopt the electric vehicles transport system with installed charging point infrastructure which can last for 500 kilometers before another charge is required.
This carnival-like roadshow by the Governor Hyacinth Aliyah-led administration is the launch and promotion of the newly introduced electric vehicle public transport system. This is part of the awareness and sensitivity show in Kogi to introduce low-cost public transportation.
Close the bonnet. Don't open it.
The electric vehicles are dragged to the charging station located at the Benue Investment and Property Company facility as the state-owned assets management company speak on the adoption of EVs.
Today, we're here to commission these vehicles, and we know that these vehicles will transform the metropolitan landscape of our state.
Benue is said to be the first state to adopt EVs for public transportation, which will cut down significantly the cost of transportation with available charging facilities.
I'm the governor of the masses.
Then comes the commissioning proper and a test drive by the managing director of the Benue Investment and Property Company, who is representing Governor Hyacinth Aliyah at the event. After the test drive, he speaks on the future plans to increase the fleet and extend services to the 3 senatorial zones while creating jobs.
We want to reduce unemployment, and that's why we are bringing 500. Now we want to start with Benue, with Makurdi. This is why today you've seen that Makurdi have commenced. We'll go to Tukpo, we'll go to Boko before the year runs out. And we are also bringing the assembling plants just beside the head office so that our people will learn technology. We know that this is eco-friendly to reduce carbon emission and is in line with the 2030 SDG goals.
The launch of the eco-friendly EVs, which is affordable and safe, will now provide better alternative to the traditional town service buses and motorcycle, popularly known as Okada, which pose high risks to commuters in the state.
And that's it on Newsroom series. Thanks for watching. I'm Olumide McCall.